All right, hereby call this meeting to order, 6:02. We are missing Joe Pulcini, Jim Norton, and Gail Lemieux so far. Everyone else is in attendance from the, along with Mark Bayram, Jerry Salvio. All right, we're gonna open up audience to citizens. If there's anyone who wishes to speak, now's your time. Gentlemen, do you wish to speak at all, or?
I don't.
No.
No, you're just here for the ride?
I'm just here to,
Perfect. Okay,
listen.
all right, thank you. So I don't see anybody for audience. Larry, are you looking to speak for audience of citizens? Hearing nothing, I will assume no. So I will close audience of citizens at this point. All right. Approval of minutes. Does everyone get a chance to look at the minutes? We need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept
Right.
the minutes.
I'll second it.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. So, okay, no old business, oh, Gail, here comes Gail. Gail is, entering right now, okay? Any old business, we have none on the agenda, but is there any old business that anyone wants to bring up?
Can I ask a question in reference to?
Yeah, you're gonna have to speak up too.
Yeah, in reference to Norton's note, asking for add new items for 1, 3, 5, and 10. Is that for CIP or is that for old meetings? I didn't understand what he was
I
trying to
didn't
do.
understand, I don't really understand what he meant by that either. That's probably CIP, or
Okay.
CIP.
All right, I wasn't sure if it was
Right, Jerry?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Got it.
That's 1, 3, and 5.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what he was
Right.
asking.
all right. So was that your question for all business, 7?
Yeah, because I wasn't sure where he was going with that.
Okay, so hearing nothing else, so we can move to new business. As you know, the town did produce a request for proposal for the maintenance portion of Timberland Golf Course. And the bids closed today, and the bids were actually opened this afternoon at 2 o'clock. We had 3 responses, correct, Jerry?
Correct.
And they were from who, Jerry?
Well, as you know, we had 4 that toured the complex during which wasn't mandatory, it was recommended but not mandatory, that the companies come out prior to the bidding process and tour the golf course, look at the equipment and so forth. And 4 came out. Troon was 1, Landscapes Unlimited was the 2nd, IGM was the 3rd, and Brightview was the 4th. Of the 4 that came out, 3 bid it. They are Landscapes Unlimited, Brightview, and IGM.
Okay. And can you tell us what the bids were, the bottom line?
Well,
Do they have that on there?
oh yeah, we've got the bottom line. This is all so fresh.
Yeah.
No one's had a chance to sit and go cover to cover and
Yeah.
find out what's going on. So I'm just gonna give you numbers for now, but it takes a lot more than the numbers when we're looking at the whole package. So let's start with Landscapes Unlimited. In year 1, they propose a fee of $690,230.
Okay.
Year 2, $710,937. Year 3, $732,265.
Okay.
IGM, year 1, $748,631. Year 2, $767,347. Year 3, $786,530.
Okay,
And please understand, this is just for the maintenance.
just maintenance.
That's all it is. Doesn't take into account any of the other overhead. Brightview, year 1, $619,000. Year 2, $637,570. Year 3, $656,697.
And did everybody read the RFP? You all had a chance to read the RFP?
Yes.
Okay, so this entails everything that was in that RFP. So maintenance only, that doesn't include
Anything
golf shop, pros contract, restaurant,
Just
none of
me.
that stuff, strictly maintenance and, you know, chemicals and all that stuff, what was, exactly was in the RFP.
Jerry,
So it's,
Hold on, yeah, Nancy?
where are these different businesses from?
Landscapes Unlimited, their corporate they're located in Nebraska. The gentleman that came up, he was out of Florida, their representative. Brightview, I believe, is out of Florida. If I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry, Brightview's out of California. Brightview is out of California. So Landscapes Unlimited is Nebraska, Brightview is California, and then IGM, even though the gentleman was from Massachusetts, they're out of Florida. IGM is out of Florida.
Thanks, Jerry.
And Trune elected not to bid.
True elected not to bid.
Very good. Any
I'm in
questions?
the meeting. I don't know if you got me counted earlier on, Peter. Thank you.
We got you counted, yeah. Okay, any questions? I mean, it's just, we can't really discuss anything about that
No,
right now. So we'll be able to, you could look at these at any time, but they have to, you can look at them in town hall. I don't know, I don't think they publish these on the web or anything like that, so if you wanna look at them, they have to be done, you have to go to town hall, or you can take time to look at them this evening after the meeting or whatever, okay? Okay, Jerry, do we have any idea what the budget is gonna be for maintenance?
For next year,
Yeah,
well,
cause there was a document that was posted on the town website that says budget, and it was just put up there a couple of days ago. I don't know what that.
I mean,
I
our
didn't look
budgets
at it.
are due at the end of the month, the end
Okay,
of
so
summer.
that can't be your budget then, your final budget.
No, but we're working towards that. Right now, there's quite a bit going on actually, but right now we're working to rectify or bring to conclusion the labor situation. That's it, that currently exists at Timberland. I think we're there with blue collar. They haven't signed off on the MOU yet, but I think we're there. I think it's a good compromise. I think it's fair to all the parties. I'm happy with it. And I think it's just a matter of them putting their John Hancock on it, and then we'll be able to fill in that part of the budget. My part is pretty much done as far as the costs of the utilities, the chemicals, so forth and so on. The last piece of the puzzle is the labor, which again, we've been working on for, a while now to try and bring that into line with where we need to be, and I think we're there.
It's, is it fair to say that it's, in your opinion, is it gonna be astronomically higher than these?
Oh, gosh,
bids?
no, I think,
So it's pretty much
There's-
close to in line?
it applies to everyone, it's just not our department, it's just the economy in general. We're having to double our fuel cost based on the anticipated rise in fuel costs for next year. Jim Simons, who's in charge of negotiating that contract, will be renegotiating it this December, January, and having conversations with him and what he anticipates the wholesale price of fuel to be at that time. We're having to double our fuel expense. The other thing we had to go up on was the chemicals. The chemicals, some of them, C, for example, is going up 75%. But, fortunately, that's not our big nut, but, on average, probably looking at hopefully only between a 20, maybe 30% increase in chemical.
That's not
So,
bad.
and utilities have gone up, water's gone up, gas has gone way up, and, we use natural gas, so.
Jerry, when you do your budget, do you also go a couple years out, like
Speak up, okay.
22, 23, and 24, on what it could be? So just for
Yeah.
comparison,
It's tough, like, no one could predict,
is there a
No.
simple formula, like
No,
10,
I mean,
12%?
personally, I think if we were to do, a 5%, I think that would be generous annually increase. I don't even see that,
Oh, well, that's okay.
and that's taking into account any exceptional years like this year. This is gonna be an exceptional year.
I get it, yeah.
Everything is very, very expensive. I don't care what it is, parts, if you can get them, the fuel costs, the utility costs. Can you predict that kind of thing? Or to answer your question, do I kind of know where I'm going from year to year or 2 or 3 years? Yeah, I know where I'd like to be, but what are the chances of that happening? I think I'm within 1% or 2%. I think if I figure out a 5% increase, I'm being
I'm
generous
just
at
more
that
looking
point.
to see
Yeah.
what we can compare,
Yeah.
with the bids.
And then, you know, every year that goes by, again, last year being my first year, we probably shot a little bit high, not knowing, but now we have that track record or track records of the different line items. So honestly, we're able to reduce certain line items. And we're hoping that by that reduction in the line items, that I hopefully, you know, can reduce to whatever extent I think I can, it'll offset the increases. Are we still gonna have to raise the budget? Yeah, we are. Is it gonna be substantial? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So Jerry, looking at the financials that you published,
Yeah.
in year 22, it shows a total of 602,116. You're saying that's gonna go up by 5 or whatever percent?
No, I think this year, you know, we're looking at more, I mean, if you look
So is
at,
that number's not accurate, that's not a good estimate because of all the inflation going on?
correct, I mean, you look at our maintenance budget, because you've gotta compare, you've got these 3 estimates, but you've gotta look at, okay, you gotta compare apples to apples. So what did Timberland budget, what did Timberland spend last year? So last year, we spent $722,000. That's what we spent on that part of the maintenance contract that went out to bid. So you got a point, you got something to
Okay,
refer
so
to.
we have a baseline.
You got a baseline, so you've got something to refer to. So, do I think we're going to be 760,000 this year? No. Do I think we'll be 735, 740 maybe? Yeah.
Everything going up.
With everything going up, and even though we're really sharpening our pencil and trying to cut where we can, you know, I never would have guessed that we would be looking at fuel doubling. Never. We were paying, I think it was $1, our wholesale price was $1.59, and Jim's saying, you better plan on 3.30, 3.20, 3.30, you know, so. And everything is following suit, the parts, when you're calling for parts now, if you can find them, if you can get them, you gotta pay the piper.
That's no different than outside of.
It's no
your-
different than what's going on.
No.
Water's gone up, you know, everything else, natural gas has gone quite a bit, it's gone up quite a bit, yeah. So, it's tough, you don't know.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on, T-sign account, Jerry, $9,400.
Yeah, it's the same as last year.
Okay, so nothing's changed there.
No, 9,564.63. Yeah.
All right, now CIP, right now, Jerry, this $44,592.83, does that include Distinctive Trees, the latest?
That's correct,
It does?
Yes.
That's deducted out of here?
that's correct.
Oh,
That's good.
We had Distinctive out for 5 days. Their fee per day is, I think it's like 2,600 per day. So we backed that out, yeah.
Okay.
So that's what you currently have legitimately sitting. There are no encumbrances against that number.
Now, did you guys knock a tree out by the bunker on 18?
Correct?
You guys did that yourselves?
No, Distinctive took
Oh, they
that
did
out.
do that?
Oh, yeah.
Because I saw the backhoe out there today.
Well, we took the stump out.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we took the stump.
did we need to take the 2 trees down on 17, 16 and 17?
Did we need to?
Yeah.
Well, we
Were
had some
they-
dead elms. We had a lot of dead on the car
Okay.
path, parallel to the car path going down. So yes, those had to go, especially the elm at the bottom.
Yeah.
That was very dangerous, so that had to go.
Okay.
The ones on top, what I hope to do is clean up that whole area. You know, the tree that was on the corner on the right as you come onto 17, you had a spruce and a pine on the left. It was just, it's garbage, and now when you go up there, and you're like, wow, what a nice view I got, and it's not so much that, it's, especially that area to the right, it's garbage, and I wanna clean all that out, you know, maybe plant some, you know, some fescue in there, and have it nice, good look, instead of it just filled with garbage, it's crap, it's garbage.
Made a big difference, both of them.
I think so, because like I said, there wasn't much left of the spruce.
Okay.
There really wasn't, and the pine was just, and if we ever want to, and I do want to use that lower T, somehow I gotta get down there, and that's gonna
And
take me
that's-
and push me over to that side, not the left, so, yeah.
Will we ever get down that way?
Will we ever get down there?
Down to that lower T? I mean, because coming down that hill,
Yeah.
would that be a liability on us, or?
No, because what you should do, if you do nothing else, you should hog it out and put some millings in there or processed stone or something. You know, you don't necessarily have to pave it, but if you at least do that, no, it'll be fine. And if you go out far enough to the left, the slope isn't all that severe. It's not, it's not anywhere near what 17 is, for example. Not anywhere close to that. No, it's doable. And what the heck, you got it, you should use it.
Yeah.
We didn't do any millings this year at all for cart paths.
No,
I don't think so.
no paving. No
But
paving.
then we have it from previous years that we have down in the back, off of 6, in that area. Don't we have millings in there? Or that
Oh, we've got a
they
ton of
grind it up?
millings. We have a ton of millings.
Yeah.
We have, in our dump, we've got a lot of millings.
So is there any plans to get that onto the course and into some cart paths where it's mud?
Mhm. I mean, 16, now that we've started 16, I'd really like to finish that and extend the asphalt on 16 and tie it into 17 and make it, you know, and curb it, because I'm sick and tired of people going around the birch tree and that going to dirt. But if I make an asphalt path from 16 to 17 and I curb it, hopefully they'll get the idea and stay on the path and not migrate off to the right and around the birch. And that'll all be grass, as it should be, not dirt.
So is that next year's plan?
Okay.
Or
Yes.
next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, cause that, was you're talking about 17, I mean, yeah, 17, that's when you come up to go off to 18? Cause when you come down the hill, right,
Yeah.
and then you got the bridge there,
Well, everything terminates at the bottom of the hill on the flat on 17. It just, the asphalt just ends,
Oh.
yeah, it just ends.
Jerry,
Well, I'm
are
done.
carts allowed on the tee box?
Carts aren't allowed on a tee box or on a collar or any place. You know, I don't care even if you've got a blue handicap flag.
There was a,
I'm sorry,
well, there
I'm
were
sorry. And I don't care if that's,
couple of carts on tee boxes today. I shall not name names, but there were a couple. So, that's, and I'll tell you what, Mark had the idea last year about those GPS chips in the carts,
Mhm.
so we can control where these carts go.
Mhm.
The next time we get carts, I'm definitely going to
Push for those.
try to push for those, because things, without a ranger, these things are out of control.
well, I did look into that already, because I'm trying to see if we can get out of our lease a little bit earlier than we would normal.
We have a 5-year, right?
We have a 5-year lease
And
normally.
we're on year 4,
No,
No, we're on 3.
yeah.
3.
I was trying to get out earlier, knowing what I know about gas carts and the value of gas carts right now, I thought maybe they'll make me a deal. But I did ask them about GPS, so you understand that your payment is gonna go up quite a bit
Yeah.
with that GPS feature. Yes,
But they, well, we don't need the screens.
No, this is not, this is
Just that
the,
one, just that one chip, right?
no, this is the Walmart GPS.
Yeah,
you know,
okay. Well, you know what, we
But
should,
it's quite expensive.
we should, I mean, it's gotta be a part of the discussion though, because.
Oh, absolutely.
Either that or we get a ranger again.
I couldn't agree more. It should be part of the discussion.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I was over, yeah, but I was over at Lime, they can control it inside, so if you are a handicap,
Yeah, there's all
and you
kinds
need to
of.
go across, they can set up for it so you can go across, but anybody else, they gotta stay back
That's right.
on the cart path.
It's, Timberland right now is a free-for-all.
It is.
Couldn't
And
agree
I
more.
don't think anybody plays Timberland right now that can't agree that carts are going everywhere. Look
Anywhere
at-
they want.
Look what happened to the right side of Ford.
Right,
That used to be pristine. Now look at it.
The right side of Ford, the back side of.
They don't go in the woods anymore.
no, they come across.
They go onto the right of the right bunker, and now look at that nice dirt path that we have.
And you know, you can rope it all you want, and they're gonna drive right over it.
That's right.
They drive right over it.
So, anyway,
You know, and I'll go so far as to say, and I've seen this year, and I say something to them, if I see a pull cart on a collar, or a bag on a collar, no, that's not gonna happen. And I know it's just a pull cart or it's just a bag and they drop it on the counter. No, move it 3 feet that way.
You're talking a fringe? Fringe?
Fringe, collar, whatever you wanna call it, yeah. Just keep it in the rough, really.
Okay.
We're talking 3 feet, you can walk.
Well, if you're pushing a cart anyway, yeah, you can
Yeah.
walk.
But you'd be surprised how many times you come in the morning, if the dew is still on, you could see the old tracks of the carts going right across the greens. You know, they'll go right, shortest distance between 2 points.
And because the frost leak there,
Huh?
that frost, if you go in there with that frost. it's
Well, if you go
gonna
on with frost, then you got a bigger problem.
stay- Exactly.
All right, Jerry, you wanna?
Can we still talk about CIP?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, do you know what Jim meant?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
On number 11,
Mm-hmm.
all right, looks great, and number 12. But in number 12, where the goals are and the reds, where the ladies' tees are, you gotta be careful, you gotta keep your eyes open, because people going to the right off of 11, they're now coming into the green, and, I've had comments brought to me from other people saying, hey, that's dangerous over there, because, you could get hit.
Yeah.
You get hit by, people firing in, so is there any plans of doing anything over there, or?
The only thing I would do, I would never do another white pine, I wouldn't do an evergreen. If we did anything, it would be a deciduous, something larger. I would buy it larger, and it would be a deciduous tree, because that's the only thing, white pines don't belong on a golf course. We've got away from the shade. 11 green used to be one of the worst greens on the course, because on the south side it was all white pine. Same thing with 5 in the winter time or fall. It holds the snow in the winter, it holds the frost in the fall. So to do anything, yeah, I could do a larger deciduous tree there. Yes, I would do that, because in the winter, obviously, they lose their leaves. The sun passes through, so I don't have to worry about, damage. So,
So is that something we can do with CIP next year, spring?
yes, I have an account set up for just that, for
I
when.
think you can make that statement of being dangerous almost anywhere around the course. And
You know,
I'm sure
here's the
a lot of
thing,
it is-
That's true.
I haven't played Southington in 100 years, maybe.
I have.
Okay, so what hole is it where you've got the green and then 10 foot beyond the green is the tee?
What hole isn't like that at Southern?
I don't know, but when you're going down
Yeah.
the street there and you look and there's the green and 10 foot beyond the green is the tee box, there's nothing there, nothing.
Yeah,
And that's a
that's-
small green too,
I like it,
Good one's another, goodie's another,
goodies,
Yeah.
so.
it's a balancing act between, culturally, what are you trying to achieve? And then aesthetically, what are you trying to achieve? And then you gotta worry about safety. You could say the same thing about, on 10 and 11, all those pines need to go away. They need to go away. I'll tell you right now. And now what are you gonna say? Well, that opens up 11 tee box if they pull it, if they push it right off the 10th fairway.
You hit
Oh,
it
well.
with 4, you gotta say 4.
We can go on and on and on.
There's
You
much
could say,
trees there.
that about 5 green and coming off a 3 tee.
Yeah.
So you gotta pick your poison. What are you trying to achieve right now? Like I says, 11 green it's a good green. There are no issues with 11 green. 5 green, there aren't any really big issues, but got a lot of roots and they're growing up and it's all dirt. And I don't like to see dirt within or that close to a green. I don't. Whether it's 4 or 5 or 3, or for that matter on the right-hand side now, because they have migrated off the path and they're coming up onto the closer and closer to the green every year. So we'll see. It's a work in progress.
Jerry, I have a
Yeah.
question.
Go ahead, Nancy.
Oh, Jerry, I'm assuming that you're adding a lot more rough, shortening the fairways because you want it to be a more challenging course. But unless you are going to quickly install some forward tees, it's really not fair to the seniors. It's really, and it's also slowing pace.
Because we really haven't brought. Well, give me an example, Nancy.
Well, okay, for example, you've got a lot of places where they have the rough coming out into the fairway. They're closing up the entrance that goes up to 6. And just how it seems like, you know, like, especially like on 14 and 5, you know, just be able to get to the fairway. I mean, it's just the rough is, the fairways are shorter.
Have you narrowed any fairways this year, Jerry?
Really,
I think they have.
the only thing we did on 4, we took a lot of that small fairway away, yes, we did. I'm trying to think where we brought them in, where it would make, you know, maybe at the end of 13 T side, we brought that back so that hopefully if the ball was, hit the fairway and was running towards the brook, it would stop the ball, because that was getting closer and closer to the brook. Maybe a little bit, Nance, maybe like you say on T side 14, a little bit, yeah, yeah.
There's like hardly any fairway on the 3rd hole. And I'm sorry, the 4th hole.
Yes, that we did bring in, yep, we could push that back out, that's not a problem.
Okay. But
Yes,
I
that
think
we did, we took out quite a bit there, yes, we did, you're right.
how about on the 7th hole?
No, we haven't
Hitting up
touched,
par threes.
yeah, we really haven't touched 7, not as much as we did for you, if we did anything, I don't.
Doesn't-
know.
Just seems that there's
We
the
did narrow the
fairway
field on
is shorter.
16, we did, we brought that in a little bit, but there's still short grass there.
Yep.
I mean, I could push 4 back out, but.
But then on 2 and on 3, how they have this jut of rough that comes out into the fairway too.
3's always, well, since we eliminated the bunker on the right, that's always been there. That's always been there.
I guess I just met it.
No, Nancy, since, on number 3, for example, since we've taken that right-hand bunker out, that fairway
Yeah.
has moved down. We
Yeah,
haven't-
and now you have this jutting out of the rough.
Where? On 3,
No.
it's straight line all the way down, Nancy, on the
No,
right side.
No.
remember we had the bunker on the right,
Yeah.
and then we kind of followed the old
Yeah,
line?
Yeah.
We hadn't brought it in or anything like that, it's just following the old
yeah.
line of the old bunker.
Hey, Jerry, can I just chime in?
Sure.
Can you hear me? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, we had a lot of rain this year, and is that why the rough has been a little thicker all year
Oh, absolutely.
than it normally is?
Yeah, you know, that, and we fertilized, you know, we went out and did a dormant feed last fall, and we did at least, you know, at least the mowers width, probably, you know, at least 16 foot from the edge of the fairway in, you know, to get it to be a little bit more lush, a little bit, you know, better than it was. And you're right, Mark, yes, we had a lot of rain, and you are gonna see more grass than you would normally see, and especially in places that you would normally not see it, you know, so, yes, you are correct, But Nancy's right in that 4, we did, reduce the size of number 4, yes, we did, and again, that could be pushed back out. But Nancy, to your comment about making forward tees, we are looking, we've already marked out on 4 and 16, a set of forward tees that I'd like to start bringing some, now that we got the backhoe back, start bringing in some material and getting at least a rough grade so that over the winter the soil can settle. Next spring we can go in, top dress and sod it. We are looking to build forward tees, yes we are.
Now that you said on 4 and 7?
4 and 16.
Oh, 16, okay. All right.
7 no.
Okay.
Our par 3s are very challenging for anybody, because there's no place that you could really run the ball up on.
No, there isn't.
Very little, so, I mean, you know, a lot of courses have no bunkers in front, you can run the ball up, but we have bunkers and, you know, Jerry said he's gonna look at all the bunkers next year and everything else, so, you know, we'll see what happens, but our par 3s are not the friendliest for sure,
Now you gotta carry the ball.
you know.
You gotta carry it to the ball.
Seb, you have any more?
Well,
Was that it?
I have a question
Go ahead.
on CIP dollars. What are we restricted to use those specifically for the golf course, or could we use it for the park, Timberland Park? Example, say we decide to have other activities up there in the winter. Say we want to put in a hockey rink, a portable one, say where the tennis courts are. Could CIP money be used for that?
Probably not,
A winter carnival, anything we can't use?
probably not. They're very particular as to what you can for, like I had to put in a line, I couldn't buy mulch or flowers out of CIP, so I had to put in a line item for landscape materials.
Does that come from the council?
No.
Is it,
You know, they,
is
you know,
that
they,
why is it restricted? And how can we go about changing it if we choose to?
Good question. How do you go about changing it? Well,
Because they consider, mulch isn't considered capital, it has to be a capital expenditure, correct, Jerry?
yeah.
That's,
So you
yeah,
have to
and
get an
there's
ordinance
nothing
change
wrong
order.
with what they're suggesting. I actually like it because it takes everything and makes it more transparent. So that I dedicate, for example, $8,000 for landscape materials now. So that buys me my nicer mulch. It will buy me my flowers if I so choose. If I want to go out and buy trees, I can go out and buy trees or whatever type of plant material. And then the CIP is just that. So we want to do tree removal, that's CIP.
okay. I
We
get
want to
that.
do bridges, that's CIP, you know.
So Peter, so if we wanna do other things up at Timberland to draw people there during our off months, we have to go to town council and request funding for it?
Yeah, well, we had, was it Jim Simons that came to a meeting? We had a meeting with him, not with the commission, but about what it would take to put a skating rink, a portable skating rink where the tennis courts are.
Yeah.
And, you know, he said that they could get water there and everything else, so, I mean, and then it just never went any further. But, you know, we were trying to make it a year-round destination so that the restaurant could stay open, and, you know,
And this is where
hot
I'm
chocolate
going.
and all that good stuff, and we have it more of a family. We already have cross-country skiers that do,
Yeah.
it. We have
And the
sledders.
sleds and,
So, you know, kind of make it like a winter, a little
But
winter
Peter,
park.
wouldn't that come underneath the town of Berlin?
Yes,
That would come under the town.
yes, yes, absolutely.
well, then there it is, we would have to go to.
You would have, the town would have to do that, that's on the town.
Yeah, that's not the golf commission. I mean, but, I mean, you know, we did propose it, you know, what would it take to do that? Because it's a great idea, because a lot of families use that over the winter for sledding and everything else, you know? So it
You
just
know,
it never really went anywhere.
Yeah, when that conversation started, I mean, number one, you need water. So I called up Jim, I'm like, Jim, can you help us out? Is that hydrant live by the starter shack? Well, we're under the impression, yes, it is. I said, okay, that's great. Jim, are you willing to come at least, you know, once or twice a week and flood it and, you know, kind of top dress it, if you will? Yes, they are, you know, and I said, well, I'll even volunteer my time. If I gotta come down and, you know, Zamboni it, I'll do it. Then you've gotta look at risk management. Does it open up the town to liability? You know, do we need to carry some type of rider?
It's kind of-
Are you gonna light it? You know, are you just gonna from sunrise to sunset, which is what it should be? God forbid, you know, kids out there at midnight and they're playing hockey and they get hurt. You know, I don't know where the liability would lie, but anyhow, all those questions, they're good questions. I've actually been looking all fall at rinks. You know, I was gonna buy it myself, a used rink,
Right.
or build it and just throw it down there and see, let's see what happens. You know, I found some used ones for a couple grand. I was like, well, you know, I'll buy it. If I can, I'll put it up.
But getting back to the liability part, it's just like if you had a park, I mean, if the town opens it up, I mean, they're covered. I mean, if you do something.
Right now, it's not set up for that.
Exactly.
You know, you would have to say, okay, this is what we're doing. Hey, you know, Mr. Wozniak, can we do this? You know, are we covered in the event something should happen? A kid gets a skate driven into his, you know, his leg or whatever. Kid gets hit by a hockey puck, you know, whatever, so.
Well, if it gets,
And then you gotta say, then it goes
we
on
have
from there.
sleds going
Well,
down
no,
there as
then,
well.
well, same thing, but you're on town property, and I guarantee you, if a sledder gets hurt, you're probably gonna get sued. You know, cause that's just the nature of.
That's why you gotta
the
carry
beast right now.
insurance.
So, and then you gotta say, does it need to be supervised? Should you have people hired by Parks and Rec to go there and supervise these kids on a Saturday, Sunday, so that it doesn't get out of hand, you know? There's a bunch of,
Mr. Simmons was even talking about bringing in generator with lights, you know, for evening to close it at like 9 o'clock or something like that. for
yeah, because
seniors.
when we did our first night golf,
Yeah,
I
we
had Jim bring the lights
on
they
17.
used, and I lit up half of Berlin.
you know, there's a residential home right on Edgewood. that does it every year. He has his own little private
Oh, yeah.
skate.
Yeah, I used to
and
build
it's-
mine for my
And
kids.
it's lit, and it's a good size. He has big hockey.
I still have the wood from mine. I mean, that thing was huge. Kids would come up, we were the destination house, come over and play hockey. It's great, it's wonderful. And, like I said, we have, when the snow is good, we got a lot of cross-country skiers, a lot of snowshoers last year. A friend of mine, he cross-country skis there all the time. I said, would you help me set up a course? Maybe make one course, the green course, that's the easy course, and do something a little more challenging, that's the yellow course, if they feel like they wanna be more challenged, and maybe go up 16 or 17 or whatever. Otherwise, you keep them on a flat. He said, yeah, I'll come over and I'll help you lay out a course.
Disc golf is another thing that we can do very simply.
What's
Very
that?
popular, disc golf,
Yep.
frisbee.
Yep.
Gail? Yep.
I just have two comments. One, since the CIP money is paid by the golfers, I think they would expect it to go towards golf course activities. I firmly agree that it'd be nice to see the rest of the park or some of the golf course used off season, as you've talked about. May want to partner with Park and Rec around that because they're responsible for a component of that. And obviously they were very successful in their bid to get some money for the fields. So I think you would have some colleagues in Park and Rec if we wanted to pursue something like that.
Yep. Agreed. Good point. Anything else? Okay, moving on. Jerry, your report, please.
Short and sweet. So I've been working on the budget, obviously. The last piece of the puzzle is coming together as we speak. Hopefully they sign off on it tomorrow, then we can fill in that part. My part is 99% done. I just gotta do my narrative and submit that, but then I've been working on the rates, gathering the last 4 years, taking the years where we had, reducing the number of categories to the current configuration. So I'm pretty far along with that as well. I'm really just waiting to get the final numbers on the budget, then I can start plugging in numbers to the rates to see where we need to be for next year. Okay, after that, obviously we blew out the irrigation system on Tuesday, or at least half of it, until one of their compressors went bad, so we still got another half to go. So they're gonna have to come back and we need to finish that. We took down the tent today, continuing with the leaf cleanup on the course. The pump house, I winterized the pump house on Tuesday as well. And then we're gonna be putting out, hopefully if it's not too windy tomorrow morning, our first application of snow mold, our first snow mold app on the greens.
Jerry, water fountains, when are they getting shut off?
I don't know if I'll have time tomorrow. I would like to shut them down tomorrow.
All right, so
Because
if-
looking at the weather into next week, if it doesn't get done tomorrow, and it probably won't, I'll be honest, I'm looking to do it on Monday.
all right, so are you're gonna get, you're gonna arrange for the porta potties to
No.
come in? Not for the winter?
No,
Okay, but we'll do that in the spring.
maybe. Depends when we open. They're very expensive.
Yeah.
You're looking now, I mean, when we brought them in, what we were paying, I'm gonna say each porta potty is probably around $250 a month. So if we bring in 2, that's 5. They don't prorate anything, so that if I were to bring them in tomorrow, I'm gonna pay $250 per porta potty,
And we
and
close
it's
the
good until,
following week.
yeah, and you're on the hook. So they're not gonna say, oh, you only had it for 2 weeks.
I'm just
Yeah.
just throwing it out there
We have
because
to
you know
look,
we're gonna get the complaint.
I'll tell you right now, no, for this fall, no, we're not bringing porta potties. In the spring, depending on when we open, no, we'll cross that bridge when we have to. If it's early enough when we have to, then we have to. It's okay.
Okay. Nice job on the leaves, by the way.
Eh, they hung on this year.
Got stuck. They did. Somebody got stuck on the 10th hole today.
You weren't even on 15. Was that you on 15 looking back at me? I didn't see you running over to
I
help
was
me.
gonna go help you, but we were getting, there was some.
I saw you
these guys were
standing there
pushing
looking.
us.
I said, oh my God. I says, how greedy do I get? And then I see he's walking just like Pete DeFazio. And I says, that can't be Pete. And then I see you standing on a 15 green looking.
I was gonna come help you, but then you're standing in the.
Well, he was behind you, I think.
Yeah,
he
right
was
behind us.
you.
Anyway.
I got out. I never get stuck.
You did.
I never get stuck.
All right, thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Mark, you there?
I'm here.
All right. How you doing?
All right, good. So I attached to the email a 5-year average through November 13th. I guess, total we're up about $17,000 over last year. And then over the average for the 5 years, we're about 65,000 over. So the last 2 years, we've definitely done pretty well compared to years past. I would say October was a good month weather-wise compared to years past. I mean, there's been years we've had snow. We've had to close for a week. So that definitely helps us make up on the back end. So if you have any questions about that, we can go over it as we go through, but I'll just continue with my report. Give me a second. All right, so we hosted 3 night golf events in October. These are popular. We did one for the T Cop Foundation. The other 2 were open to the public. And I would say that the concern with hosting these is that the course gets a little beat up, but this year was much better than past years from what I saw. It's hard to replace a divot or find your divot when it's dark out, but I think people did the best they could, and there wasn't too much trash on the golf course, which was good. Remzi and I had our end of year Golftoberfest event where we had 120 players play. We had 10 veterans play on Veterans Day, which we offered complimentary green fees for active military and veterans. This is just a great thing to do for the veterans, and they appreciate it. And we had 22 last year, this year 10. The weather was decent, but they just appreciate it. Even if they don't come to play, we hear about it. They're thankful for us doing that. Pga Junior League in the fall, we had 25 kids. Brandon and Gino coach both the teams, and I would just say overall our junior programs are in good health at Timberland. Starting at the end of October, we moved our first starting time on the weekdays to 8:30, and the weekends we do a 9 o'clock shotgun. If you've played on the weekend, the last 3 weekends, we've had the Connecticut Am Tour show up, and they're a nice revenue generator late in the season. They bring about 30 to 40 players. I mean, each time they come out, we make about $2,000 in revenue. The reason they keep coming back this time of year is because we do the shotguns and other golf courses do not. So I think that is a really good practice we do. I'm surprised other courses haven't done it with frost delays and everything, but that's something good that we are doing at Timberland that other places are not. Next year, I'm starting to work on the men's club, women's club schedule. Leagues and outings are starting to book up. So just getting the schedule organized for the upcoming year is always a challenge, but have it pretty much down to a science, and we usually are pretty good. We don't have any double bookings or issues. So the only thing, I do have 2 major tournaments that I want the same date next year, and I got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. But that's about the only challenge I have with the schedule. I met with Golf Now on Zoom. Lindsay is our rep, and I just basically told her that I didn't think we were really utilizing them other than the point of sale and the online tee time capability, because we don't use their marketing platform anymore. And really, we rarely book tee times online just because we tend to, with our new policy, we tend to book by phone before online is even available. I just basically told her to reach out to Jerry, which Jerry, I don't know if she has or not, but just on our future with them, I'm really not quite sure. We need to give them 2 trade times if we aren't fully utilizing them. I would say we definitely need them for the point of sale and then having the online capabilities. But I think we really, with that, we probably only give them 1 trade time for that. So Jerry, I don't know if she's contacted you, but
No, she hasn't.
she said she would be, and I told her it'd be wise to come to a commission meeting because, or like go on Zoom to a commission meeting, just in case anybody had any questions for her. One of the things that I know we're talking RFP and potentially we could have a new maintenance crew next year. But Jerry, is there a plan to keep the same aeration schedule?
I think what I'd like to do, Mark, you know, and I'll talk it over with you, is I'd like to push that fall aerification out into the first, no later than the second week of September, if we can. If we can't, because of your schedule, that's fine, but I'd like to go later rather than, in the, you know, what we've been doing in years past.
Yeah, I mean, I was just checking in to see if it was even up to, like, if they get somebody, I know it's speaking hypothetically, but would they be,
No, Mark, even if they
Yeah.
were to go, you would sit down with the super and you guys would come up with the dates. Nothing should change,
okay,
yeah.
all right, well, that's good to know. This time of year, we get a lot of requests for gift cards. I think that's something we should look into really getting done next year, is being able to offer them online. I think we're losing a lot of business because of that, because really, I mean, I mail out as many gift cards as I can, that people that call in and pay over the phone, but that limits us to the hours we're open. And, you know, people should have 24 access to buy gift cards on our website. I just think we're losing a ton of sales. And I know the concern with the town, I think, was that they give like 5% of the fees generated. They give that to the company that runs the program. But I think that that's well worth it. And that we're really kind of dropping the ball by not offering gift certificates online, because it's out there and other courses do it. And I just think that we're not we're just basically not making as much as we could because of that. So I don't know who's responsible for looking into that, but I think that's something we definitely need to pursue. It's not going to happen this year, but I think by next year we should have that.
Hey,
Too
Mark,
bad we aren't doing it this year, Mark, because this is the year where people are worried about shipping and they're gonna go for gift cards.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think we're missing out for sure.
I do.
hey, Mark,
Yes.
okay, I spoke with Kevin, and I think it's a conversation that the three of us should have, you know, the pros and cons. He was saying that, you know, we would incur, or our fees would go up certainly, but you have to look at, you know, well, if they go up, but if we're selling X plus, then it offsets that increase, and that's a good thing, you know?
Yeah.
So he was saying it's a 3% a take on their part, and I think, again, it's a conversation the three of us should have and put it to bed, you know? I just, we've been talking about it for years now, and
Yeah.
Excuse me. Having an e-commerce on the Timberland site instead of going to a third party, is that something we can do?
Mark?
I mean, I'm just not sure. I know there's third parties that do it, but I'm just not sure.
Third party in.
Most websites that offer that,
Our third party?
they use a third-party backend.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I didn't
I would
realize
say,
that.
at least 80%
I didn't know that.
of all that you see.
I just think it's something that by next year we should have that capability, because again, it gives people 24 hours. They could go in the middle of the night and buy a gift card from us or gift certificate. You know, right now they're limited to our shop hours, and you know, if they call by phone, some people aren't comfortable giving their credit card over the phone or having me mail it out to them. So that's kind of just an antiquated practice that it'd be easy just to print it from their computer if it's out there. So again, Jerry, I guess we'll talk that over with Kevin. I think that'd be a good idea. Just moving along. Again, speaking hypothetically, say we get somebody that a contractor comes in. Jerry, what's gonna happen with the cart attendants? Because those are town employees.
that's to be determined, you know? There's nothing etched in stone right now as far as that's concerned. So, I would think in the next couple of weeks, they're gonna know one way or the other. Aroche, the next stop for this RFP goes to Aroche, and he'll take a few days to review them and decide how he wants to proceed. If they were interested in any of these bids, it's my understanding that they would then call the people in for an interview. We would talk with them at that point, and if Roche is comfortable with what he's hearing, and he would like to recommend to the town council, you know, give them his recommendation, it would go to council, and then they would, at that point, vote on it and make the decision. So I would think, Mark, to answer your question, I don't have an answer for your question right now because everything is so up in the air, but I would think in the next couple of weeks, we'll know much, much better where we stand going forward into next year.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I usually need by February to start gathering staff, so there's
Yeah.
plenty of time, but I at least wanted to plant that seed out there and,
Yeah.
you know, if there was a plan for anything, you know, so
Yeah.
just, I guess, one step at a time.
Yeah.
All right, just looking ahead, you know, I'm gonna start finalizing the instructional program schedule for 2022, with all our programs, adult and junior. I'm starting to meet with sales reps to secure pre-book orders for the golf shop, and you know, just organizing the schedule for next year with all the organizations and the outings and the leagues. It's a task, so that takes up a lot of my time to just make sure that there's no double bookings. I'm also going to do a thorough cleaning of the golf shop like we do after the golf course closes, and you know, any sort of rates discussion that you want to include me on, I will help in any way I can. Does anyone have any questions for me?
Yeah, Mark, Sebby, I have.
Yes.
How many rounds did we have so far this year? Do you have that number?
We've done about 4,500 less. I'll pull up the exact number. Just give me a second here.
Yeah, then the other question I have is, are you planning to do any instruction on the off-season anywhere?
I am not planning on doing it. I'm going to be doing a junior class at the YMCA. And that's just a weekly class, just that's a volunteer based thing. But Brandon and Gino are both going to be coaching at the YMCA in the off season, giving private lessons. So there's no plan, but they will be coaching there at the YMCA. All right, so through October, just to answer Sebby's question, we've done just under 42,000 rounds, and last year was just under 46 at this time through October. So I mean, we're about 4,500 rounds less through October, but our revenue is up slightly. So, you know, we're getting more revenue per round.
But you have to understand too, Seb, that we had an exceptional July and August. And it's reflected, if you look at the numbers, how the revenue was off compared to years past. We were closed a number of days, we couldn't allow, especially that I think would really, and Mark, you can, but it's right here in your report, your carts are way off. During those 2 months, you know, we had a very good October, we closed the gap. I think we're gonna have a very good November as well. I do, or we'll have a better than average November. But,
I think that was kind of the goal too, was to do less traffic,
yeah.
get more bang for our buck, I guess.
Now, the good news is,
Yeah.
which I think is good news, if we continue next year and we have a normal July and August, that would be nice. I think then you're really gonna see a good number. I mean, not the bad numbers are bad, you'll see even better, obviously. Everybody, no matter, and Mark talks to people and I talk to people, no matter who you talk to, everybody was off in July and August, everybody. They had no choice. I mean, it was a function of the weather. You know, a lot of courses were closed, and we were fortunate, we only had to close a day here and a day there, and, you know, no carts, but I think we did pretty well, all things considered. But everybody's numbers were off during those 2 months, everybody's.
But they're not gonna give
We'll get back.
yeah, you better come back.
Why am I looking at Pete?
Well, Amber, because,
Oh.
we'll do that for you, how's that?
The price wise, Jerry, price wise, I mean, some people are coming over to complain about our price.
No, that's terrible.
I know, it is, it's terrible, but I mean, the course is that you got the leaves and stuff, I mean, and they're paying top dollar.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know,
is there a
Jim,
way
I
we
looked
can
at
get
the
a rate?
course today and I couldn't find an open spot anywhere. Could you, Jim?
No, I mean.
No,
No.
we were pretty busy.
No, I mean,
today.
I mean, some people, they walk away, they say that our prices are really high.
Okay, so I guess my question to you is, tell me who's running a special right now?
I couldn't tell you.
No, you can't, because no one is.
Nobody's doing.
Nobody's running a special.
We do
Don't
a
worry.
certificate.
Don't worry, Mark and I do our homework, don't worry.
Hey, Mark,
Mark, yeah, well,
Yes.
Mark, go ahead.
hey, I have a question for you. We were asked, if we could put our golf commission minutes up on Timberland Golf, the website. Now, if we can do that, I don't see why we shouldn't be able to by the town, because it's public knowledge anyway. What would be involved in getting a section on the website that just says golf commission minutes, putting those minutes up every month?
You just send me a PDF and I'll get it right up there. That's easy.
Let me just double check with Kate.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah, we wanna make sure that can be done, but, so that's pretty easy to do, right?
Yeah, it just needs to be PDF form, that's all.
Okay, which they are already, I think, so.
Mark,
Good.
Mark,
Yes, Nancy.
what, did you and Ramsey decide on a holiday party and when would it be?
It will be December 4th.
Okay.
Yes. I still have to talk to Ramsey about the details, but December 4th was the day he wanted to do it.
Is that a Saturday?
I think so. I gotta check though.
That is
Um,
Saturday.
I got an email from Chris Edge today that I'll forward to the golf commission, inviting all the members to, they must have a get together or something for all commission members. He sent it to me. I'll just forward it to everybody, but I wanted to let you all know.
Nice.
You're all invited to some sort of get together for all commission members of any commission in town.
Hmm.
I don't know why he sent it to me, but I will send it to everybody.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, I think overall we've had a good year. I'm interested to see where things are headed, for sure. I will tell you that I think that if we're looking to make more money, we really need to become a 12-month operation and not 7 or 8, maybe 9-month operation. We kind of go through the rates and we try and increase some and, drop some, and we kind of play with that a little bit. But I think the constant number is we're always doing 40 to 45,000 rounds a year. There's not much more we could do there. I just think that if we added months to our revenue stream, that could have a good significant impact on the golf course. Where I'm headed with this is that we should really look into having indoor golf. I feel like if Ramsey was open all year, the town could generate rent money from him and he'd gladly do it if he had customers. We just need to find the place for it. And I really think that's something we should look into. I know everyone's doing this, we're doing a statement of need. I just think that we need to make more money to offset a lot of the costs. And if we become 12 months instead of 8, that's pretty good. And I think that's become I don't know if anybody does it, but it's become a very popular thing, indoor golf. So just throwing it out there, and I think we should really look into that. And I'd be happy to help in any way.
Mark, I couldn't agree more with you on that. Whether we do a simulator or we have to bring more revenue in, whether it's upgrading the driving range. You know what? People go to Chris Cody's to hit balls all winter long. Those should be our dollars, one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of courses are doing it. Whitney Farms did it. What other golf course? Quarry Ridge just did it. And actually, I don't know if people know, but Blackledge is building a brand new driving range and practice facility. I saw pictures of it. It's pretty incredible. So
Moneymaker.
other courses are spending money to make money. And I just think that's where we should head.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way I feel. And, the easiest way to do it is fill those open gaps of there's 4 months we don't generate anything. So how do we do that?
just want to add that I think that we're very fortunate to have Jerry and Mark leading us. Great job, guys.
Thank you, Nancy.
I'll take my payment in pickles.
How about fudge?
Cookies.
Oh, yeah, where is that fudge?
Next month, you'll get your fudge,
All
everybody.
right, yeah, girl.
You gotta taste their pickles.
Mark, thanks for bringing up, the reason why I did not bring up the statement of need, is because we have several commissioners that aren't here tonight that contributed quite a bit to it. So, you know, we'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting. All right, and, that's why you won't see anything about statement of need tonight. Anything else from anyone? Hearing nothing, motion to adjourn?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thanks, y'all.